So what you may have realized is that none of the breath techniques that we have gone through have been using your mouth. All of the breath techniques that I teach are breathing through the nose. Mouth breathing is not something that has ever been advised in the yogic teachings. It's something that is kind of a little bit more of a modern technique. And the reason is that the yogis really stick to focusing on nasal breathing because it really balances the mind and the nervous system. So when we breathe through our mouth, it can antagonize our nervous system and make us go into a little bit more of a fight and flight mode. And most of us are already in that on a day-to-day basis, so we don't need more of that. We need to come into the parasympathetic nervous system, which I have mentioned a lot before because it is really important that you learn the parasympathetic nervous system is about the rest and restore, that calming the nervous system. And the long exhales are how we get there. But we need to make sure that they're through the nose because you need to control the breath a little bit. And you know, in yoga we call our breath work pranayama, which is really prana means life force. So we're actually drawing in life and energy and power with each breath, but we also need to control that. So one of my teachers gave me this really great analogy. If you had a really big bucket of water and you wanted to take a sip, it would be really awkward to like pick the bucket up and take a sip. It would sort of pour all over your face. Whereas you're more likely to take a straw and take a little sip, and it's controlled and balanced and steady and tidy. And that's what your nostrils are. Your nostrils are like the straw. So your mouth was never intended to be for breath in this kind of context. It's really about the nose breathing. So what we also need to think about is when we're asleep, because a lot of people breathe through their mouth when they're asleep, and it's not great for your health. It's linked to many health problems in the future. So something that my husband's been doing for a few years is taping his mouth. You can get this sort of tape from pharmacies where you just close off the mouth, maybe just in the front here, so that if you need to take a breath on the side, you can. But it's very soft so that if you need to just take it off very easily, you can. And it takes a bit of time getting used to it if you're not used to it. But it forces you to breathe through your nose when you're asleep, and it's really key. And even, you know, I know many people who have done it. My husband also has said that the benefits to his sleep are amazing. He sleeps much, much better. He wakes up feeling better. And you don't snore. So if that's something that you know you're aware of, that you are mouth breathing when you sleep, I suggest you look at potentially taping your mouth. If it makes you nervous, tape one side, but it is really helpful. I also suggest if you are somebody who is blocked a lot in the nose, then practicing using a neti pot. These are yogic pots. You can buy them very easily, N-E-T-I, neti pot. And you pour warm filtered water, so very pure water, with some salts, Epsom salts inside. And then you pour it into your nose and it drains through and it clears out the nasal passage. Doing this on a regular basis has a lot of health benefits because around your nasal passage you also store a lot of bacteria and germs and all kinds of things, and it clears and cleans it, and you get sick a lot less, but it also helps with your breathing. You're able to really open up the nasal passage and breathe better. So we also need to think about why we're breathing because, you know, we can live without food for, you know, a few days or weeks. We can live without water for, you know, a couple of days maybe, but we can't live without breath for long. It is super important. It's one of the most important things you'll ever learn how to refine is your breath. So if you take anything away from this course, and it's just how to breathe deeply and more openly, then that's amazing, because every breath you take is bringing in life and energy and power. And if you're not breathing properly, then you're not going to be bringing in any energy. You're going to be depleting yourself. So learning how to nose breathe and focusing on that every single day will revitalize not just your physical body, but your energy body. So amazing to just practice that every day. And there are so many different techniques we're running through, so we can summarize them all at the end and go through them. But just the full yogic breath, breathing through your nose, practicing breathing with your abdominals and using the right muscles to really work your breath is incredible. So keep it up, nose breathing, address it, look at it. Where are you breathing through your mouth? Okay. The only time we ever maybe breathe through our mouth is if we're exercising in a high intensity way. And then that's a little bit different. But it's on a day-to-day basis where we want to try to really build in the nose breathing. That's where we want to look at. So sleeping, resting, when you're concentrating, when you're stressed, when you're nervous, if you're working in a really difficult job, are you really focusing and breathing through the mouth, or are you breathing through your nose? So pay attention to it, notice it, and try to bring as much nose breathing into your life as you can. Namaste.